Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm Jay. Today we are going to be talking about the phrasal verb breakdown. Before we get started, I just wanted to go over some points about using phrasal verbs. The first one being that don't forget that phrasal verbs are separable, meaning you can split the verb and the preposition apart and you can put a word in between, usually a pronoun. Now, the other possibility is that the phrasal verb could be inseparable, meaning that you are not able to put any words in between. That phrasal verb has to stay together. If you try to put a word in between, it will sound really funny to a native speaker. The second thing to remember with phrasal verbs is we still have a verb, and that verb can go into different tenses. So you could use the verb in past, present, continuous, or future tense. Now, some of our phrasal verbs can also be irregular, meaning that we have to alter the verb to go into the past tense. An example of that would be if I use a phrasal verb keep up. If I was going to use it in the past, it would be kept up. Okay? So don't forget that. The third point to remember about phrasal verbs is that there is usually a literal meaning, and there may be other alternative meanings. Usually those are the ones that are hard to remember. An example of this would be if somebody said look up, you could look up in the sky and it would make sense. However, you could use look up in reference to researching material. Okay? So usually with phrasal verbs, you're going to find a literal meaning, and you may find just one other alternative meaning or many other meanings. The last thing I wanted to mention today is don't get discouraged. Phrasal verbs are very difficult to understand. They take a lot of practice to learn, and they can be very confusing because you have a verb followed by a preposition that is not really related. So just have some patience. Practice using them when you can, listen for them in speech or in videos, and just be patient, okay? All right, so let's return back to our phrasal verb breakdown. Now, what does that one mean? So I could use breakdown if something was not working anymore. It could happen suddenly, it could be something that's already broken, or it could be something that might break down in the future. For example, if I was driving my car and all of a sudden the engine overheated, I might have to call my mechanic and say, hey, I'm stuck on the highway and my vehicle is broke down. Sometimes people will use breakdown for themselves. So maybe they're just having a really long week, or they're just going through some tough times. And they might say, hey, I'm really having a breakdown. Sometimes it's connected to nervous breakdown, but some people will just say, I'm having a mental breakdown, which means that they are just kind of not able to keep up the pace of things that are happening to them. They usually just need a little bit of a rest or a good friend to talk to. The other way we can use this one is imagine if your boss calls you into the office and he says, look, we're going to be working on a new project and I need a breakdown of everyone's skills in the office so that I know where to put each person. So you can use breakdown in order to create a list or to divide things into sections. So imagine I took my car into the mechanic, the one that broke down earlier, and the mechanic said, look, here's a breakdown of all the things that are wrong with your vehicle. Hopefully today I was able to break down this phrasal verb for you so that you guys could understand. And that's it. All right. So keep practicing, keep up the good work, and keep studying. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.